Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training. Here we are in Corpus Christi, Texas. We're looking at a nice fire escape right here. And this is the building Nueces, N-U-E-C-E-S, corner of Chaparral and I believe Water Street. Cassidy's Irish Pub, right across the way, parking lot. And here we are in a nice fire escape. So, Inspector Training. This looks like a fire escape that they've painted silver, or it's a galvanized fire escape, and I do believe it's a galvanized fire escape. Let's take a look at what happens on galvanized fire escapes. First of all, if this building is an active building, which I think it is, if it isn't, the one thing you can't do is what they've done here. They got a chain on here that stops this cantilever from coming down, which is what people are using to break into the building most likely. So with that being said, that's an immediate situation. Number two, even galvanized needs to have these things addressed, so the water's getting in there, and because a lot of times you don't seal the galvanized, it basically gets rust in the connection. Rust is starting to show its way into the connections, so you got to stop painting these fire escapes. The weight box is just a series of chopped cast iron pieces. This thing is balanced backwards. You can put a release arm on it so that you don't have that there. And that release arm, which is going to be up in that general area right there, will stop people from breaking into the building. Otherwise, you can make a permanent stairs to the ground and put a cage around it. Now, with that being said, let's look at the rest of the fire escape. You're starting to see certain things that will show that if this fire escape is not taken care of, you're starting to show signs where rust is starting to come in, and this is an all-welded fire escape. Whenever you have all-welded fire escapes, it's only a matter of time before water starts getting in. And this fire escape, even though it's galvanized, you can actually get in here and still save and get another 30, 40 years out of this fire escape if we seal it and paint this fire escape. Otherwise, even galvanized fire escapes will hit a moment when all of a sudden every connection is going to be penetrated. And look how many floors we have here. This is like 15 floors. But as you can see, if you don't watch it, look what happens. Big rust hole on a galvanized fire escape. Look what happens. Big rust on a fire escape. Look at all the other floors below. Rust, rust, and so on and so forth. That's because galvanized only will last 20 years, and if you don't do something about it, it's only a matter of time before rust will step in. So just that one hole alone, that's going to hurt somebody. It could be a fireman whose foot gets thrown through there. So a lot of times when you're dealing with a building of this kind and it's abandoned, and I don't think it's abandoned because look, I got a light on. So this must be used by somebody. But if this building is half occupied and the owner doesn't want the fire department to save the assets, then they should be putting signage on this that says this fire escape has not been inspected, this fire escape is not ready to be used in case of an emergency. And so the signage would keep the firemen off. But it's illegal to chain up a cantilever the way they have, because it's a life safety issue for the tenants and anybody else trying to get up this fire escape or out of this building. But galvanized fire escape, here we have all the connections. We need to verify the connections into this wall. You need to do a pull test or a load test on this fire escape, or if it's unable to be done on the inside, we can just duplicate some of these connections. But a lot of times when you have that much thread sticking out, we can actually do a pull test on this in lieu of a load test to verify that the connections are tight, the connections are good into the building. But there seems to be water getting in the back of these, so a proper investigation will verify if this fire escape is ready to be used by firemen and by the tenants. But just that big hole up on the roof is an indicator that this is probably at the end of its useful life, including on the paint job. But then you need to get on this quickly so that way this fire escape can have another 30 to 50 years worth of service with very little and minor work, aside from the fact that you have huge gaping hole up on the top floor. Any questions? Fire Escape Academy, Inspector Training, 1-800-649-3333, and here we are in Corpus Christi, Texas.